going to take a few minutes to cover the PayPal Sandbox and how you can use it to test applications that you're developing prior to launching them on the live servers. This way you don't have to be running real transactions and refunding yourself over and over again and actually losing that 30-cent hit every time you do that. So we'll show you the proper way. The first thing you need to do is go to developer.paypal.com, and this is their developer site. If you haven't ever been here, you'll need to go ahead and sign up and just create an account. I've already got one, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in here. Once we're logged in, we'll see we have a lot of tools here that we can use. We've got different test accounts, test email, API, and payment card credentials. Another section actually called test tools, which just has these simulation tools under it. But mainly what you're going to need to do here is create some Sandbox accounts. So when you're running tests, you need, for example, if you're paying with PayPal, you need a buyer account and a seller account to move that money with and actually see how things happen and make it work with PayPal. So if you click on Create Account manually, this will pop up this little third-party window, and you can actually go through yourself and create a personal account, a Premier account, or a business account. It's a lot quicker and easier just to use pre-configured account. If you go here, all you got to do is specify buyer, seller, Payments Pro, etc. I typically use Payments Pro. You need this just because that's what you have to have enabled in order to use Do Direct Payment. So when I'm creating a seller account, I usually just pick that one so that if I ever want to use it for that, it'll be available. Otherwise, you might need general buyer accounts or a basic seller account. You can set all those up in here. You would just fill out a name, a couple of basic fields here, and hit Create Account. I'm just going to go back to my test accounts here because I've already done this. And here you'll see I've got a bunch of accounts already created. I've got a couple of business ones, a couple of personal ones, some more business ones down here. And these can all be used to send and receive money to and from each other on the PayPal Sandbox. So again, these are just fake accounts. If I were to go ahead and I'll use this as one I do for a lot of my sales, select that one and I'll say Enter Sandbox. That's going to pop up this third-party window here. I'm going to sign in with my Sandbox. You'll see it looks a lot like regular PayPal, but it has this PayPal Sandbox stuff at the top. So we're signing into this just to get a quick look at it. And here we'll see all the history just like we would a regular PayPal account. Be nice if I could push this into my real PayPal account, but I can't. So this is just a seller account I've been using over the years, so it's got quite a bit of money in here. Obviously here's a bunch of Testerson things that have been coming through. So just like a real PayPal account, we can click into the details of one of these. We can actually see exactly what it looks like here, the information that was passed over, the amounts and everything. So you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like in PayPal by using these Sandbox accounts. So I'm going to close this, and again we'll go back here. Any one of these that I loaded would go into that account accordingly. After you have a bunch created though, you could actually just click this API and payment card credentials, and this will give you, for the seller accounts that you have set up, it'll give you the credentials that you would want to use in your API calls. So it's just a quick and easy spot to grab those so you don't have to log in, waste any time doing that. You can just grab all your credentials from here, drop them into your code, and you're off and running. Any emails that you ever get, the automated PayPal emails and things like that, to a Sandbox account will come to this test email. So they won't actually come to a physical email account that you have. If you set one up with an actual email address, they're all going to drop in here. And you'll also notice, if we go back to test accounts, the majority of these accounts, the PayPal Sandbox will create this kind of a long email for you. So sometimes it starts with Sandbox, and they have this kind of a format that they're using. This one here I actually created with the Create Account API, and so it held the actual email that I used for that. But if you use the pre-configured here in this screen, we can also do create manually or pre-configured. So that's what you're going to need to do to use the Sandbox. Just have some accounts set up. You can go in there and again move money back and forth. Real quick, I'll also cover just kind of, there's three separate places with PayPal when you're developing. So you got your developer account, developer.paypal.com, and then of course we've got x.com, which is the main x.commerce site, and if we go under developers, PayPal developers, and then from here, documentation, development and integration guides, this is the best resource. So whatever it is you're trying to work with, for example, if we're going with Payments Pro, we can go in here and we got all these PDFs. These are the best documentation they provide. HTML is supposed to be kind of just a web copy of the same thing, but they're not generally as complete and as detailed as the PDF versions. So for anything, if you're doing adaptive accounts, here's the PDF for that, and adaptive payments, etc. You can scroll down. Here's a bunch of express checkout documentation. All that's good info here. Now, kind of the third place, if you go to paypal.com/MTS for Merchant Technical Support. This is yet another place that you'll have to create an account. It's separate from the developer or from an actual PayPal, so you'll have to create a separate account here. And once you log in here, you can actually go in and contact technical support directly. So this is just a support ticket system that PayPal has. Now this is kind of, you don't want to take advantage of this too much. This will be something, if you're making API calls and you have this best part to use this is when you have actual API requests and responses that you're sending data the way the documentation says you're supposed to be sending it, but you're getting certain errors back or you're not getting the result that you expect. You can come here and create a ticket, because what they're going to see is that actual raw API request, whether it's a name value pair string or if it's XML. Whatever that is, they're going to want to see that here, and then they can help you out generally pretty quickly and easily, and that's just direct to the PayPal support team. So these are the three tools I find myself in pretty much every day. Again, the Sandbox, just so you can use fake PayPal accounts and fake money to test things, developer site for all the good documentation, and merchant technical support if you ever need to contact PayPal directly with some questions.